Did you know that there are 4 phrases that regularly you and I are using that are stopping our growth, stopping our potential, stopping our momentum? We're going to be talking about them all this week here on the Dallas Daily Show, coming at you from the Neighborhood Loan Studio. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. So typically, there are phrases that we use, and we're not even always aware of them. They're phrases that we use that can stop the forward progress we're feeling or can keep us stuck and trapped in the old loops, right? The belief, behavior, trigger cycles that we've talked about on so many episodes here of the pod. We always talk about it in our midweek mind shift episode. There are just things that keep us locked in the loop. And one of the greatest things we can do is we can become aware of some of the phrases that we might typically be using so that we can break free of that old cycle and move toward a trajectory of who we're ultimately wanting to become. So there are 4 phrases. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the disclaimer right now. You may not say these phrases in the exact order I'm going to present them, but hopefully you can hear the theory behind these phrases as we go through them all, and you can go, oh yeah, I can see where I say a variation of that. All right, so that's my disclaimer here before we get into the 4 phrases. So you might not say them exactly the same way, or you might not say all of them, but maybe you say some of them or one of them. The hope in this whole series here, the hope in these videos and in these 4 phrases is that what you will do is you will recognize a pattern that you can break and you can shift and you can move forward to who you ultimately want to become. So the first phrase is this: when I, then I. Now, what does that mean? When I, then I is you've said a variation, or I have as well, which is like, ooh, when I get the raise at my job, then I can plan on taking a vacation. Or when I finish this project, then I can be happy about it. Or when I get to the ideal weight, then I can plan to get the new photos done. When I, then I. It's a phrase that is often used by humanity. When I accomplish this, then I can do that. There's a couple of things about it. Number one, yes, delayed gratification is absolutely a beautiful idea. See, sometimes we become too indulgent in our lives. Sometimes we actually say to ourselves, no, I want it now. I'm not going to wait for the when I get healthy, then I'll take the trip. Right? Or when I earn this sales number, this sales quota, then I'll reward myself with a nice dinner. That's different. That's delayed gratification for goal setting. Absolutely. But what typically we use it on is we use it on negative thinking of like, man, when I finally break this habit that you've been fighting for way too long, then I will actually start to be happy. So it's almost like a future state of happiness is being withheld because there is a present gap in our experience. And what we want to do is we want to become aware of where we are punishing ourselves in a way that's not healthy, where we're punishing ourselves because of our present circumstance. So I just want you to begin to think in your own world, where are places that you have been using the when I, then I, a dependent, like a future dependency on happiness based on a present lack of attainment? So again, different than delayed gratification. That is offsetting a reward for achievement, but this is more stretching the gap of, well, I guess I'm just not there yet. So maybe someday, maybe that's the way you're saying the phrase. When I, then I can be one of those things that just gets us stuck in this self-berating loop of you'll never be enough. You'll never attain enough. Oh, when you do that, you probably won't, right? That's phrases that we use that can be so brutal for us. And what we have to do is, again, I'm going to say this one more time. We can set goals for ourselves that we achieve a certain level and there is some kind of healthy reward, which, by the way, you should never have a reward that makes you feel guilty. Right? If you're like, oh, when I get this, then I'm going to go eat a dozen donuts. And then you feel bad later that you ate the donuts. That's not the type of reward you want. You want a reward that actually is self-fulfilling and you actually feel the reward of it. It's something you had hoped to enjoy without guilt, right? So delayed gratification is one thing. Self-punishment is the thing we're talking about today. Where have you delayed possible breakthrough in your life because you've said, I'm not ready yet? Or where have you made future happiness, or heck, even present happiness, elusive to you because you didn't feel you were worthy? My friend, you are worthy. Not to overindulge, not to do something that's unhealthy or to reward yourself prematurely with something that makes you feel guilty, but you are worthy to know that you can cross the gap. You don't have to wait for some future happiness or some future sense of, oh, yeah, that feels good, because you don't think you're ready for it. You can begin in the present to feel like the future version of you want to become. This is a mind shift, right? Most people have the mindset that they're not worthy of it. And I'm telling you now is your time, now is your day to shift your thinking, get past the when I, then I, and begin to think, now I am happy because I'm deserving of it. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you. You know what to do at this point. Check out the website. If you like what you're receiving, if you like what you're hearing, share it with others. My friends, go out there and have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to DallasDailyShow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.